Welcome, everyone, to the Kia Knicks postgame show. Taking on the Clippers, Immanuel Quickley, 25. Knicks only down 2 with 7:40 to go, but the Clippers pull away. Kawhi Leonard with 28. Knicks give up a season-high 129 points and lose to the Clippers 129 to 115. Great to have you with us from our Delta MSG studios. Bill Pito along with Wally Zerbeck. Alan Hahn joins us from his home studio. I want to remind everybody that coming up in about 40 minutes after the postgame show, MSG PM with Monica and Kaz. They're going to have former Knicks Steve Novak as a guest. His take on the Knicks and things going on in the NBA. Our story here, Alan, we got to be honest, that stat of the night on the pregame, not the right one. You want to talk about points in the paint, but it was the three-point shooting that was a key. Clippers shoot 44% from downtown. They make 17 threes, and the Knicks are the best defensive team in the league against the three. They couldn't stop the Clippers from deep. That is the stat of the game.
Okay, congratulations. I can't carry you guys every night with the stat. You got to get a matchup right. Wally finally got one that was good, so congrats on that one, because that was a great matchup. Guys, you watch this game, and you feel like I keep going back to the 87-88 season when Rick Pitino's first year, had a young core, still had some vets, and it like little by little as that season went on, they got better and better and better and started to compete. And you're just seeing this team, like you feel like this Knicks team. I mean, the Clippers are playing at an elite level. There's no doubt about it. They're killing it on this trip, and they've got two superstars. And the Knicks competed in this game real hard throughout this whole game, and every time the Clippers tried to pull away, the Knicks pushed back, and they just finally ran out of answers. But it's hard not to feel good about the direction of this team right now, and if they could find a way to just fill a couple of holes and a couple more players continue to develop, you've got something brewing here in New York with this team.
I love this team. I love the way this Knicks team plays. But remember when we debated if it was going to be the Lakers winning the championship and anyone else in the league? Nope, just hand the Lakers another ring. I think the Clippers made some good moves in the offseason. You can see how these pieces fit. They have shooters all around Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Serge Ibaka was a phenomenal pickup because he opens up the floor for everyone being that stretch five. But how about Julius Randle again today? I mean, he's showing. He's playing at a superstar level. He really is. Every single night out on the floor, he is pretty much unguardable, and he's threatening to get a triple-double. He was up around 27 points, 11 boards, 6 assists. That seems to be his average, what he's been doing every single night. Quickley's coming along, impossible to guard, knocking down those threes. And R.J. Barrett went head-to-head with two superstars in Paul George and Kawhi Leonard and played them pretty much to a standstill. That was impressive by R.J. Barrett again. The Knicks just have to figure out a way. They're close to competing with these upper echelon teams. They're almost there. They just got to keep working at it.
They have been competitive in just about every game against the top teams in the league. And, Alan, they were right there with about 7:40 to go. I mentioned only down by 2, but the story from start to finish, really the difference was the Clippers' outside shooting.
Yeah, three-point shooting. It's just incredible the way they knock it down. And as you heard Mike Breen talking about coming into the game, leading the NBA in three-point shooting at 41%, just under 42%. And after this game, it's definitely going up. The 17 of 38, 44% from three, and it just seemed every time they needed one, they got one. The corner three was the biggest one. You guys will be at the corner three in a couple of minutes, but the corner three, that's where they were living in this game. They hit 7 of 10 in the corner three. I mean, that's red hot, just kicking it out. There it is, right there on cue. Those corner threes were devastating in this game, but it's just, the three-point shooting you knew coming in, that's what it was going to be for the Clippers, and that's absolutely what they did in this game. The Knicks have the number 1 three-point defense in the league, and the way the Clippers shot it, the Knicks, there was nothing that they could do about it either. Every open look they got, they seemed to knock it down, and everybody was part of it.
And it wasn't from their stars. It wasn't from Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Those two were 2 for 11. It was from the rest of the guys. I mean, the rest of the ancillary pieces, they're great catch-and-shoot players. They really feed off those 2 stars when they draw double teams. Kawhi Leonard, you have to double him in the post. He's really good in a one-on-one situation, and that ball really moves. I like the moves they made. They were also missing one of their knockdown three-point shooters in Nicholas Batum. I mean, he can shoot the three, catch and shoot-wise. He's one of the best 3-and-D guys that we've seen over the last 10 years in the NBA. So he was a nice addition to this team. I like the way this team plays. I think Tyronn Lue should be right there for Coach of the Year. I mean, he took over a team that was decimated, that gave up a 3-1 lead, that fired their coach, who's known as one of the best coaches in the NBA. He took over a team, retooled this team, and they're playing some of the best basketball in the NBA by far. And he doesn't even have that continuity that he had with these guys in previous years. So Tyronn Lue's got to be right there for Coach of the Year also.
Clippers have now won 10 out of 11. Mike Breen, Allen, during the broadcast, made the point that if Julius Randle keeps playing like this, he should be on the All-Star team. And he did it again today with 27 points and 12 rebounds going up against elite players on the Clippers front line.
Well, the voting has already started there, so you know New York has got to get behind him because it is true. The way he is playing at an all-star level, and he's also doing it by keeping the team competitive. These are not empty stats, what he's been accused of previously in his career. These are winning plays and winning stats and big shots, important moments. That's what you're getting out of him, and that's why you talk about him as an all-star. Will he get voted as a starter? Likely not, but it doesn't mean he shouldn't be considered a reserve. And you know coaches are watching around the league, and they see where the Knicks are in the standings and what he's doing for them. In this game, more of the same. When they needed a big basket, he got it. When they needed a play, he got it. His three-point shooting has been really a surprise for him, and he's knocking them down when it matters. He's not forcing shots. And I thought Rebecca Harlow's report on him and also quickly talking about the impact that Kenny Payne has had coming in from Kentucky. Randle has that familiarity with him. They work together at Kentucky, and so he's understanding already, I know this player. I know what you need to get yourself ready for games. They went back to some of the workouts that they had in Kentucky, and that familiarity has helped Julius Randle kind of find his game and find the kind of player he could be at the NBA right now. And yes, very much in the all-star conversation in the East.
Yeah, he's definitely in the conversation. The key for Julius Randle, his numbers are there, and he's competing with a lot of other guys. There are just a lot of guys in the East that are having monster years when you look at it. It's going to all come down to whether or not the Knicks can get their record to a point where they're very, very competitive and solidly in the playoff race. I think that can really help Julius Randle because we've seen in years past, especially with the coaches, the way they vote winners. They vote teams that are helping their team be competitive. Julius Randle's done a great job of that so far this year. I just think the Knicks need to continue to push to get those wins, to continue to be relative and winning in order for him to really get that consideration.